and everyone loves that guy.
And, yeah, everyone loves Raymond.
Except his wife.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
We were discussing this earlier because we were talking about your game against the Canadians last year when you scored the game-tying goal, you scored the game-winning goal, kept the season alive. What is a better feeling, scoring a game-tying goal or a game-winning goal? I think that people would assume that's stupid. It's going to be game-winning goal. But judging from how I have seen you celebrate different types of goals, I don't know the answer. What is it?
I'd still say probably a game-winning goal. You know, those game-tying goals, like you pull your goalie, like that's a nice feeling, obviously. But, you know, a game-winning goal will probably be the best one for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the game tying aspect is like more desperation at stake, and also like it's a gift to the boys. You get to play more hockey.
Yeah. I think also it's different types. Like you can have a game-winning goal in the second period, right?
True.
It doesn't have to be an overtime goal. So then maybe a game-tying goal late, but you know, an overtime goal or like a late game-winning goal is for sure a good feeling.
Where did that game against the Canadians rank against like best games you've ever played in your life? Because it's one of the best games I've ever watched in my life. It was insane.
Yeah, it was a crazy game. I mean, I'd say it's for sure up there. Just that last stretch last year, you know, the last 10 games or so I thought was really fun. Just like the way the city came alive around us, and you know, the arena it was a lot of fun. So it's for sure up there. It was I think it was a great experience as well. Like looking back at it, obviously in the moment you were gutted, but you know, just looking back at it, I think we took a lot from that stretch.
Do you feel like you have like a little bit of a taste of what playoff hockey is like based off of that stretch and kind of the atmosphere around the team?
I mean, I would want to say so, but I don't know, right? Like I've never been in the playoffs, so I don't really can't compare it. But the intensity was for sure up. You know, the urgency around it. You always try to keep that intensity level, urgency level throughout an entire season, but 382 games, it could be tough. But those last games was for sure a lot of fun, and you know, like I said, just the building, the fans, it was special for sure.
That game was one of the indications that we were going to be all in on you, that we were Lucas Raymond guys. First, off the bat, everybody loves Raymond guys. And I know that you've gotten that so many times and you probably hate it, but I was like, there's a hockey jersey that says Raymond on the back. Hell yeah, I'm in. I like that guy. I'm getting that. The other thing, though, that made us very all in on you was the drama that surrounded the Will Cuylle stick incident.
Oh,
I'm sure that absolutely sucked for you.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it enough on the podcast that we don't need to explain it. But to be sitting there with a face full of blood as basically you're on public trial, what was that review like for you?
Which one?
So you lifted allegedly, you lifted the stick and it may have got you. Your hand may have been in the... Anyway.
Yeah. I know which one, yeah.
You were... allegedly, anyway. But during that review where they're figuring out, are they going to take away overturn the high stick, which we didn't think you could actually do. Yeah. But you still were bleeding. Yeah. Like, no matter what they called, you still... Like, that must have sucked. So when you don't even end up getting a power play out of that, what was that like?
I mean, it was weird. Like... obviously, you never want to take a stick and throw it in your face. Like, it's not a very nice feeling. So I was like, I didn't really know what they were looking at. Then the call came, and you know, it was what it was. I looked at it, and it looked a little bit, but like in my mind, it was like I was trying to push the stick away. It came up in my face. I couldn't really do a lot about it. So. It was what it was. Like you move on, and you know, it was a special situation for sure.
Did that happen so fast? Did you know in the moment that you did that, or
no? I mean, I was just, like skating up the ice, holding away a stick, and it came up in my face. You know, like I said, I don't think anyone wants a stick in their face. So
We're a big embellishment podcast. We love.
We're trying to encourage embellishment.
Yeah, so-
Every interview that they get mad at us,
right?
But
And it's like if you're gonna embellish, like commit to the embellishment. And so I was a big fan of like thinking that you did it intentionally. And it was like, well, at least if he's embellishing, that he's putting himself in the line of fire here. So I was a big fan, and now I'm kind of disappointed that you didn't do it on purpose.
No, that was not on purpose. It would have been pretty creative though, but not on purpose.
I'll tell you, if you did it on purpose, nobody would ever want to fight you.
No.
They'd be like, that guy is fucking out of his mind. Did you see him that previous shift? Took a guy's stick and hit himself in the face with it.
Yeah, that would have been a psycho play, but
That would have been insane. Now, on the Everybody Loves Raymond thing. I understand that you get that all the time and that you still to this point have not seen that show.
no.
Why?
Don't really know what the show's about, to be honest with you. Like, I've seen the name of it, but I don't even know where to find it.
You came to the right place. All right, so it's a CBS sitcom that ran from 1996 to 2005, starring Ray Romano. It's also got Brad Garrett, Doris Roberts, Patricia Heaton, a lot of the greats.
Yeah.
And it's basically about a sports writer who doesn't have sex with his wife, and he has twin children who he neglects, and he always wants to go golfing, and his parents live across the street, and they come over all the time, and his brother comes over, and they're always like, hey, Robert, how are you doing?
Yeah.
And he's like, not so great. And everyone laughs because they didn't understand what depression was when this show was on. If this were on now, people would be like, can we get Robert some help? He doesn't seem to be doing so well, but he was the butt of every joke because he was a depressed guy. You got to check it out.
And everyone loves that guy.
And, yeah, everyone loves Raymond.
Except his wife.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Yeah, except his wife
Yeah.
doesn't want to have sex with him.
Yeah, like whenever they need to get out of a scene or like go to commercial, they need some sort of like button to press, a punchline. It will be like, well, you know what we haven't done in a while. Don't even think about it, Raymond. Laugh track commercial. Everyone loves that guy. In all
crazy,
seriousness, I would check it out.
Yeah.
It's very, very funny.
I might have to see a snippet of it.
What shows do you watch?
I actually just started watching White Collar. Have you guys seen that?
No.
No.
That's the lawyer show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's like the FBI. It's a guy who was in jail, like a robber.
Oh,
or like
okay.
a con man. It's an older show. It's really good. You guys should check it
Oh,
out.
I was thinking of Suits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Suits have white collars
Yeah.
sometimes.
Clothes. Anything.
Yeah.
Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
It's all the same. I assume I know the answer to this, but I don't want to generalize. Do you Fika?
Of course. Of course.
We're big Fika guys. We're not. We don't. We're not invited to Fika.
No.
But Omar
We have
told us
been.
about it. Yeah. What's that?
We have been.
Actually, yeah. Sometimes on the road we'll be like, let's
Allmark
drink
invited
coffee
us
and
to
stay
Fika.
there. Yeah. Yeah.
Lightly, like maybe just very
I wouldn't want to
politely.
start. I'll tell you what. I wouldn't want to pop my proverbial cherry there to like Olmark for Fika wise because he's like a veteran
Yeah.
of that game.
Yeah.
What's your typical Fika experience?
I'd embarrass myself.
It's very chill. It's usually just a coffee and a cinnamon bun maybe.
Okay, yeah, that's
And then just good
seems the
vibes.
Same.
Does it have to be cinnamon bun? Because
No.
Olmark also mentioned cinnamon.
It could be, I mean, that's very common, like, what do you say? A very common pastry, I guess, in Sweden. Cinnamon bun, but it could be anything. A little chocolate ball, a little, I don't know, anything.
Do you Fika with teammates?
Yeah, I tried to.
Do you?
I tried to, yeah. Me and Mo used to be big Fika guys. But, you know, most guys have kids. They got, you know, girlfriends, stuff like that.
No time to Fika.
No time to Fika.
I'm a
but-
grown man. I don't have time for Fika. The funny thing about all this, though, I'm realizing as you say this, it shows how gluttonous Americans are because it sounds like there's nothing special
Yeah.
about the idea of having coffee and a cinnamon bun.
Yeah.
I've done that 3 times today already.
It's unreal.
But for maybe people of other countries, they're like, there's an understanding that you're not supposed to maybe hammer cinnamon buns all the
Yeah.
time. It's a
No.
special treat.
Are there rules to it too? Like, is it like if you're Fikaing, like no phones, no screens, nothing, or is
No. I mean, honestly, it's just a very simple. Like, you don't even have to have it. You could just have a coffee and hang out.
Okay.
We went to Sweden last year and played. I tried to get the boys for Fika, and they were like really excited that we walk into this one coffee shop and. Like in Sweden, you don't really like. That's not like you Fika, but you don't talk about like you'll just be like, hey, want to go for a coffee?
Yeah.
So we show up to this like bakery, whatever, and the girls at the counter. I was with Larix, Mo, Kat. Girls at the counter's like, "Oh, what do you want?" And Larix is like, "I want a Fika." And she looks at him like, "Yeah," like he was so excited. He's like, "I want a Fika," and she's like, "Well, yeah." And I was like, "Dude, it's like saying, you know, I want lunch, going to like a lunch spot," and they're like, "Yeah, well, what do you want?" So he was like, "Oh, coffee and a cinnamon bun." So
That's
So,
unbelievable.
and that is why I would not want to do my first Fika with Olmark, because you would be able to tell that I was a noob and
Yeah.
didn't know what I was doing.
It still seems cool, and I still want a Fika, even if
Yeah.
it's you're. I feel like you're underselling it, but it seems cool. It's
It
a very
is
cool
cool.
name for a thing.
yeah, but I mean, I feel like people have Fikas all the time. Maybe just don't realize it. Like if you go have a coffee with a friend, like it's Fika.
Yeah, it's just not branded as
No,
it.
but it's like same thing.
I feel like it is kind of having a moment though, because I was telling one of my friends about like, oh, in Sweden I learned they do this, and they were like, yeah, that's like all over TikTok or whatever, and people are now like branding it a thing.
Yeah.
Are you protective at all of Fikaing, or do you want it to spread to the whole world?
No, I just spread it around. I think it's good vibes. You know, a little break in the everyday life. Could sit down, calm down a little bit. You know, just chill.
I feel like the day that you signed your contract was like a party through like across NHL fandom. Everyone was so pumped
Yeah.
that you not only signed and would be ready for the season, but that you got an 8-year deal
Yeah.
and that you're such a big part of this whole thing. What's it like? Like, what was it like leading up to that? And I guess like trying to get to that 8-year term. And now, what's it like as a very young person knowing what the next 8 years of your life will be?
Yeah, I mean it's special. This entire summer was very different than my previous ones. Obviously, with contract negotiations, I've never really been through that before. All my deals have been rookie contracts when I was playing in Sweden, then coming over here. So it was a bit different, and you know, a little bit stressful, obviously, and especially coming close to camp. Huge thing for me coming into it was term. I wanted long term, and I also, you know, wanted it to get done for camp. And we got both of those things done. So after that, I was just very relieved. You know, I was just excited. I wanted to jump on a plane right away. And yeah, it was nice to come over, see the boys again.
Were you in Sweden at the time?
Yeah, I was in Sweden. So it was a quick turnaround. Had like a day in between, jumped on a plane, drove 4 hours up to Traverse where we have our training camp, showed up, and then just got ready to go next day.
Do you have to do like? Does your agent advise like don't be in Michigan?
Yeah.
It's a sign of weakness.
I don't know about that. I mean, obviously, there's probably some tactic behind it. I wasn't very involved in any of that. You know, I was just that was my whole thing. I was like, just keep me out of it. Like, let me know if you guys hear anything useful, and then I'll just try to keep doing my thing, trying to get ready for the season. That was a big thing for me, to just try to do my normal things as I've done previous summers, and then whenever the contract gets done, I'm ready to go.
I'm sure you like you said, you try to keep the normalcy to your routine and everything. But like after you sign a long-term deal, do you think about anything differently, or like I can be more comfortable in setting the roots down here? Like what changes mentally for you after you sign that deal?
I mean, obviously, it's a big thing. Like you know for the next 8 years where you're gonna be, and that's something that I felt very comfortable from the start. And you know, obviously, you want to build something good here. You know, you want to win. I want to win here, and I think we got a lot of really good tools to do that as well. So I guess, you know, priority may change a little bit. Then it's obviously nice for family, stuff like that. They know where you are for the upcoming 8 years. It's easier to plan and stuff like that. So it may be a little bit, but I'd say in general it stays pretty much the same. Like you go in with the same mentality every year, and you know, just try to win as many games as possible and build something good.
I know that you're mostly like American country music, right?
Yeah.
That's your weapon of choice. I do have to ask, because we are doing this ahead of Grateful Dead night tomorrow, and I'm so excited about that. I know a lot of fans are excited about it, but I understand that the players on the team are younger than 100 years old, so they might not care about it. Do you have any experience with the Grateful Dead? Do you know about them? Do you care about them? Does anybody on the team?
I have no idea, if I'm honest. Maybe some guys on the team do. I don't know. But I have no clue.
The coolest thing about that is you just end that with yet.
Yeah.
Because it's something about just being. I hate to fall into like gender norms, but just like becoming an old guy, you will become a Grateful Dead fan. Europe 72, check it out. Yeah. It's awesome though. Like, do you see any of like the imagery or anything, like the clothes and shit?
No, I haven't seen it.
It's gonna be sick.
Yeah,
I think you'll like it a lot.
Check back in on with us about Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, check it out.
So there's an episode where he has to coach. No. There's an episode where he has to coach his kids' youth basketball team.
Yeah,
and it's a good team, except a little twist: 2 players on the team suck. His kids. It's a real tough dilemma that he's in as a parent.
Yeah.
His wife won't have sex with him after that. It's such a good show.
I might have to check it out. Yeah.
All right, we'll send it to you. Thanks, man.
No, thanks for having me.
We all silly like the mayor.